So you're thinking of moving to Austin, Texas and want to live near a golf course? Well, you're in luck because today we're covering the Steiner Ranch community, which encompasses the University of Texas Golf Club. We're going to show you around by way of the computer and Google Maps and show you all the points of interest, how to get in and out, and where the best places are. Stick around, we're getting started right now. If this is your first time to our channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about living in Austin, Texas, then subscribe below and tap the bell so you get notifications about the current market in Austin, Texas. Hi, my name is Nicole Cooper, and my team and I get calls all the time from people just like you needing help moving in or to Austin, Texas, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We love to help people like you make a smooth move to Austin, Texas. All right, we're diving into the computer for a map tour, the lay of the land for Steiner Ranch and the University of Texas Golf Club. So first of all, we are going to show the downtown Austin, so we know kind of our starting point. Over here in this red dotted outline, that is actually Steiner Ranch out there. Here is the airport, and that kind of gives you a little sense of where everything is. Now I'm going to show you about how far it takes to get to these different items. Downtown Austin, there you go, 32 minutes, about 18 miles. So it's really a pretty drive getting into town, but there's really only one way to get there for the most part when you're coming into town. When you're leaving the community, you've got to get out to 620. There's no bridge coming over to take a shortcut or anything, so you kind of have to go to 620, and then your next opportunity to get into downtown Austin is 2222. From here, once you get to 360, you can take some different options, but for the most part, it's a one-way in and one-way out, so you don't have a lot of ways to scoot that 18-mile jaunt there. So now we're going to go to the airport and show you how far that is. And that's about a 38-minute drive, about 30 miles. And this is a time of the day when there's not any traffic. We're kind of mid-afternoon right now. If there were traffic time, you could probably just double that time, because the traffic between here, let me get my pen, the traffic between here and here, here and here, and here and here is going to be pretty bad. This is IH-35, the big north and south loop from basically Mexico to Canada, but between right here and this turnoff here, it's very busy because people are trying to either get to this Loop 1 MOPAC to go north and south, or the I-35 to go to north and south. Nonetheless, no traffic, 40 minutes to the airport, not a bad deal. All right, so we're gonna close those out and get a little bit closer into Steiner Ranch and show you kind of what is right there at the community. So as we mentioned before, we're going to use the 2222 to come out to the property. On the way, we've got Jester Estates, Long Canyon, Westminster Glen here, and then this neighborhood here is River Place. Once you get out to 620, you're going to keep heading out of town, and this whole area is the Steiner Ranch community. It's all part of one big HOA. These are not part of the original HOA down here, but as you can see, they're still called Riverdance at Steiner Ranch. It's still considered part of it, even though it's not part of that overall HOA. If you carry on past Steiner Ranch, that's going to take you out to Lakeway, out that direction. I'm going to now show you kind of the golf courses in the area, because the west side of Austin is really the hotbed for golf courses. First of all, we have one right here in River Place. In Steiner Ranch. That's Steiner Ranch. Over here is River Place. And we have out in Lakeway, we have the hills of Lakeway, that it also includes Flint Rock Falls. And there are two other smaller courses, Live Oak and Yopon, over in these areas. We have Falcon Head Golf Club, which is a semi-private club. And then you have the Spanish Oaks Golf Course over here across the way, which is a very private club. Other golf courses to note, here we go, Barton Creek. There are 3 golf courses right here in that one community, and then Lost Creek. Lost Creek right now is currently under a redesign, and we're all really excited to see what comes out of it. It should be finished by the end of this year, they say. Those are all the golf courses nearby. Go ahead and zoom in and show you the satellite view so you can see better the Steiner Ranch golf course. So when you're coming in off of the main road, you're coming in off 620 and then you hit Quinlan Park. This is UT Club Drive coming in here, and I think right about here is where the manned security gate is. So all this portion back in here is gated. This is another little section of condos here that has its own separate gate. So as you come in and out of the different little pockets within Steiner Ranch, different ones are gated. For the most part, it's not gated. Like back here in these areas, all back in here, these are not gated. And I believe there's right at 30 different little pocket communities that is under the big Steiner Ranch, the community, not the golf community, but the big Steiner Ranch HOA. So some of them, like this little condo community, you'd have to pay the Steiner Ranch HOA, the overall umbrella one, and then another additional one for this little condo regime here. That's just an example. So let's get back to the golf course. This is the actual clubhouse right here. This is the driving range. I can tell you this end is the members end, and this end down here is the UT players end, and that's their locker room down there. They have the swimming pool and tennis courts, everything you could want out there, little casitas to rent out to family if they're coming into town. But as you notice, along all the fairways, there are lots of houses. You know, this is one of those clubs where the houses are right on the golf course. Like if you want to talk to the players going by while you're outside barbecuing, this is the club for you. They're all wrought iron fences in the back, so you can see through them. There's no privacy in the back while the golfers are playing through, and allows all those golf balls to come in your yard if you're about 200 yards off the tee. But if you're into that kind of thing and you love to be right on top of the action on the golf course, this is a very good option for you and your family. All right, so we're going to zoom back out a little bit and talk about the lake. Now, you may have heard me say this before, but we have a couple of different names for the same thing in Austin often. And we call this whole thing all the way through town the Colorado River. However, so from here, and we zoom all the way through town, across town to right here, so that's all considered Lake Austin. Lake Austin is a constant level lake. So when you have a home on Lake Austin, when you buy it and you're living in it, you can always count on it being the same water level. When you get on this side up in here in Lake Travis, the Colorado River portion that's called Lake Travis up here, this section, it succumbs to the weather. Right now we're in a serious drought, and I'm told we have about 40% of the water in there that should be. So what happens is when you have a lake like that, like your water lines might be, let me get my pen back, your water lines may be way down here. So if this house used to be on the water where your boat slip was hovering over the water, it may not be there right now. This little tiny patch of island, it's about this big of a land mass with grass and trees growing on it right now. So it can fluctuate a lot. So oftentimes you'll hear people talking about deep water lake or on one of the little sloughs or arms. And for the water level to stay constant or look constant from your view, you need to be on what's called a deep water view until you get below this dam right here. And from here down, it's all constant level. So these homes right down here at the bottom of Steiner Ranch, these guys would all have constant level water. And I'm gonna put it back on satellite just a minute to show you what is down here, because it's worth noting. You have the Lake Austin Spa Resort right here. Quick tip about the Lake Austin Spa: if you go and get a treatment early in the morning, like a massage or whatever, you're welcome to use the facilities the rest of the day, so you can hang out the pool and use the facilities. So I always recommend going in early, getting your treatment done, and then hanging out the rest of the day. Right over here to the left is the park. This is public. This is a public parking lot, and it has a boat launch right here. So if you want to take your ski boat down, or your pontoon, or your kayaks, or anything, it's an easy launch spot from right there, and everyone from the community can use that for free. In the community of Steiner Ranch, I kind of refer to it as living in the bubble. You have everything you need out here, so you don't have to go into town. Up here by the main turnoff, you have your coffee shops, your competing Starbucks and Summer Moon coffee shops, and you have your Randall's. Randall's is one of our grocery stores here, and it'll have everything you need. It's probably not everyone's favorite grocery store, but at least you don't have to leave the neighborhood to go and get milk and eggs. In the neighborhood, you will have some restaurants dotted throughout: the Cho Sushi, Vaqueros Cafe. So once you're out in the bubble, you have a pizza grill as well. You have a gas station in case you need to gas up the boat. Once you're out in the community, you don't have to leave it to get to anything. But if you are going to leave to go somewhere, your nearest shopping areas, the next nearest shopping area, so you're going to come out over here to 620 and come right back over here to 2222. This is a 4-point shopping center. And that area has your Home Depot, your H-E-B, it has a Target, it has more restaurants. You've got Rudy's is over here somewhere. There it is, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. That's a big hit for barbecue in this area. You've got some of your fast food, of course, in here, but basically any kind of shopping you need. This is a much bigger area than what's located right inside the Steiner Ranch turnoff. You also have a movie theater over here. Now, if you come out of Steiner Ranch and go the other direction towards Lakeway, coming down this way, you basically have a whole little town over here. Not too much until you get into Lakeway, so around the corner. So it's probably going to be about, twice the distance as going to this one over here near 2222, but you're going to have even more shops in Lakeway. Now, if you go all the way through to the other side of Lakeway, you're going to have the Hill Country Galleria. That's a great shopping spot. High-end clothing, beautiful restaurants, coffee shops, you name it, they've got it. A little bit further, let's just tell you how far. Let's see, directions to Hill Country Galleria, 24 minutes. About 13.6 miles. So you can get a kind of a view of that versus driving all the way into Austin. If you need to come into Austin, it is a pretty drive, so it's nothing terrible, but there are a lot other more convenient and easy shops to get to that are close by. Okay, we're zoomed in on the Steiner Ranch community. Here's the University of Texas Golf Club to give you your bearings. These little gray lines out here, those are trails, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Let's see if we can get it in satellite view, if we can still see it. Yes, so these are hiking trails that go all the way over to River Place. Very cool to have right out your back door, and it's all rocky, uphill, downhill. Great exercise using those hills that run throughout. Okay, in addition to the boat launch and Lake Austin Spa over in this area, just across the highway over here, you have Tom Hughes Park, and it is a very beautiful park. It is public. You can go in, has a nice big parking lot, and you just head on down the trail. Look, even in this picture here, you can see that the water's down a little bit. But you can also see this type of it's not a marina, but just any kind of dock, most of them have to be floating out on Lake Travis because the water levels fluctuate so much. So you can kind of get the gist here. It's got this cliff here, and you see the people way down at the bottom. It's a very nice rocky outcropping, and it's just amazing to swim over there. It is blocked off so that no boats will, well, I mean, I guess they could still come in, but it's blocked off with barriers out there, so they're not supposed to come in, and you can have a safe swim out there. So just some more views of the little picnic areas. I highly recommend that park. It's a lot of fun. There's another kind of view of it. So with the trails and parks nearby, you're never bored if you're a water baby. There's also boat rentals. The Mansfield Dam, that's where we talked about, that's where the water levels change. So here is what makes the water levels stable or steady on the Lake Austin side. And up here, this is the Lake Travis side that succumbs to the different, weather issues that we have. And weather issues in Texas are either drought or flood. We kind of are bipolar in that sense. We don't really have much in the middle. A couple other things to point out: the Oasis on Lake Travis, big tourist attraction. It is fun. It's a beautiful view. The sun sets over this direction, and it's a kind of a Mexican food restaurant built on the hills, and you're overlooking the sunset in the evening. They ring the bell when the sun sets, and a lot of times they have live music and dancing. Sometimes like line dancing or country dancing or tango even. So it's fun to go over there. Hippie Hollow Park, well, that's a clothing optional. So you do that if you like, but it is one of our, I think it is the only one that is the park in town that is clothing optional. Generally speaking, right around this area is a lot of sailing because it's usually very windy off there, and it is one of the deeper parts of the lake. So that is kind of the big overview, guys. The Steiner Ranch neighborhood is considered the northwest part of Austin. It is still in the city of Austin, but it's getting out there towards the edge, towards the beginning of Lakeway. Beautiful homes, beautiful countryside. The country club amenities have it all between the golf, the tennis, pickleball, pools, parks, trails, you name it. There's entertainment for the whole family or outdoor entertainment for the whole family. And then not to mention the actual country club has events all the time based around the University of Texas events, meaning baseball, football, basketball, soccer, golf, all those sports that UT excels in. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour of the neighborhood, the Steiner Ranch community, and the University of Texas Golf Club. And if this seems like a good fit for you, we would love to help you find a home in this area. But until next time, we hope to show you around town.